Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Show is on the road today. Road tripping. We're at Currie Field, Regina, Saskatchewan, getting set for the season opener, the home opener for the Regina Red Sox. Thank you for making some time on this Thursday, whether you're watching on YouTube through sportscage.com, tuning in on one of the streams, or just on the old-fashioned radio, like Aaron Tippin said. The guy sitting beside me, it's Sharky. It's Thursday on a Sharky when Sharky's in.
Hi, kids.
He's brought to you by Flooring Superstore Regina. Trent Dickin and his team. I know, Sharky, you're going down and doing some shopping. 20% off across the board.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. Big disaster in the basement. Got to get it fixed. Looking forward to it.
25% off, sorry.
It's getting better. I've got to get there sooner now. 25%
off. Just texted. Normal prices. On already tagged down. Like, what a deal. If you need flooring Superstore. Yeah, like we said, it's a home opener for the Regina Red Sox here at Currie Field.
Beautiful night for baseball.
Well, everybody, Gary Brotzel is going to join us later in this hour. Another gentleman working here, he goes, we've had home openers that there's been snow. Like, this is a night. You look in the sky right now, if you can, and
not even the Simpsons clouds are out.
There's not even a cloud. It's like we're in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
If you squint, kind of does look like Scottsdale. But then it kind of doesn't.
That's quite a squint you got. It's quite a squint.
It's a little breezy right now, but tonight it's going to be perfect because that breeze will kind of cool you down.
Yeah.
If you're sitting on sipping on a beer, having a hot dog, popcorn.
Love a dog and a beer.
Do they do peanuts here?
I hope so.
Cracker Jacks, as the song says.
Sunflower seeds.
Yeah, see, I can't. That goat. Then the goat acts up.
Is that what sets it off, eh?
I've been through this on the show a number of times.
The seeds don't do it to me.
Once in a while, I really miss sunflower seeds, too. When you can't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not the first addiction I've kicked. So
it won't be the last.
It won't be the last. We're playing the wind, though, today. Because it's a little breezy right now, so we're playing the wind with our papers and all that. Curtis and Colson are back at the studios, and they got us buttoned up. Thanks to the Red Sox. Dude, look at this tarp.
Yep.
They got great merch. This is their little merch, and they're selling beer in here, too.
Yeah, you can't see it. It's right over there.
Yeah. And then we got Red Sox socks. Makes sense.
Of course.
Makes sense. Yeah, so this will be fun today. Don't worry. Lots of rider news. The positional chart was released. First off, everybody always goes QB. Yeah. All right. So Mayer starting. Understandable.
Okay. Why not?
Cohen backing him up. Stevens in there as well. Trevor Harris, you got the day off. You wear street clothes.
Get yourself a soda.
You wear street clothes tomorrow night, Trevor Harris. Then you go to the running back position. No.
Ouellette.
AJ Ouellette. Street clothes as well for you, sir. Receiving, not really surprised on Kean Schaefer-Baker not playing because he's kind of been...
Emilus not playing.
Emilus is still a little bit tweaky.
Okay.
On the offensive line, the first thing that jumps out at me, again, no. Jamarcus Hardrick.
Yeah.
2 games.
Where's Logan?
Resting. No Furland.
So they're letting guys make the team or not?
Oh, no, they're making the team.
No. These guys. The guys that are playing, not the guys that are missing.
Yeah, and maybe it's just, you know what? We know what we got. There's no need to risk anything, and we need to get better evaluation on some of these guys. 2 kickers, Lawther and Hodge.
It is a short week, too.
It is very short.
It's a short week.
Exactly.
Yep.
Less than a week.
Yep.
Couch would be the only punter. So that was another thing that I circled. where I thought it a little interesting.
Yeah.
Defensive side of the ball, I think the one that jumped out at me is Tavon Campbell not playing. And I'm sure there's a few other. Dave Thomas is going to join us here in a bit, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah. I like the way it looks, though. I do.
Well, Glen's coming on in hour 3, and we'll talk about it. It's like in Saskatchewan, it's like you win those preseason games and you're like celebrating. It's rolling. I'm not making any plans come November. I'm leaving every weekend open in November, and trying to save up money and points to maybe get a hotel in a different city. But then if you drop both preseason games or one, it's over. It's preseason.
It's over.
Who cares? Let's
go to the beach. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We'll be fine once the regular season comes. So Dave is going to come on here in segment number 2 of this hour. We'll also have some audio because today we're going to hear from Jake Mayer. We're going to hear from Brett Lawther. And, of course, Coach Corey Mace. Okay, the other Arash Madani's coming up in hour 2. We have NASCAR report.
We do. Big weekend in race last weekend.
Is it?
It was. Yeah.
Okay, so we have the Edmonton Oilers and Dallas Stars tonight. Game number 5. I'm not an Edmonton Oilers fan. Probably going to end up being on the wagon here for the final.
Yeah,
because I kind of want them to win again. Yeah. But are they that good? Or is Dallas being outcoached, or is Dallas that hurt? I think it's Edmonton, because Edmonton, they made LA look pedestrian after the first couple of games, and that's it. Well, 2.5 games. Then they make Vegas.
They made Vegas look old and slow.
They dummied Vegas.
They really
did.
Kids
say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they're mopping Dallas like Dallas is an A team trying to play AAA.
Yeah. The Dallas thing. And I think too much has been made of Skinner having a bad game, and we got to focus on how bad Skinner is. The guy's been lights out the last series and a half, right?
He could win the MVP.
What does he got?
Is that again? Vezina?
Conn Smythe.
Vezina's a goal.
He's got 4 shutouts in the playoffs? Like, come on. This guy's been on fire, and he's been a big reason why Edmonton, although they're playing defense, I think, better than they've ever played and focused on that better, why Edmonton has got a chance to win every night, because Skinner is making the saves he's got to make for them. So get off the hate Skinner bandwagon.
And people in Swift Current, probably, and Lethbridge, played in Lethbridge too.
Yeah.
Swift Current, though, because it's, probably people are down by that dam right now. It's so nice out. Sun tanning and hopping in the
You don't even know where that dam is.
Don't want to know the name. But he seems like such a good guy. He does post-game now interviews with Gene or whoever after every game. He just sounds like a good guy. He sounds like the water off a duck's back guy.
He really does, doesn't he? Like, did I play goal yesterday? That went pretty good, I guess. Yeah, I stopped some pucks. Guys were good in front of me.
He has just
we scored more goals.
He's been lambasted, treated like a dish rag at times in Edmonton, and now they're building statues for him. They're renaming roads. Understand? Hey, that is part of the reason why I am going to hop on this Edmonton thing. Not to the point where I'm going to buy some paraphernalia, but
you might need some.
If I go to a game, I might have to.
Yeah. Is that in the budget for us to do a game?
We lost our cable, lost our coffee machine.
No, I always brought coffee anyway, so that didn't affect me.
What else? There's something else. Curtis and Colson, refresh my memory.
The dining, but didn't we lose the catering budget?
Ratings are up again, though.
Ratings are up?
Just came out today. 3rd straight time.
Nice.
Ratings of the SportsCage are up. Oh, yeah. Curtis lost his truck. Curtis lost his parking.
Wow, Curtis.
But we persevere. We are Slapshot.
We are.
Or is it Major League too that they
Major League
take things away?
They take and they got better.
And they got better.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's a Sasky thing. That's a grind.
Remember that?
You know what? We are just gonna grind this out then.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like it, eh? Well, we're still gonna win. We're gonna be in first. Back to the Skinner thing. I think that he has just, and I said it last year. I'll say it all the time. He's a very good goaltender, right? when you see a breakdown in the Edmonton zone where somebody scores, and even the goal that they scored late, what Vegas scored in Game 3 with 0.4 seconds left, that's really not Skinner's fault, right? Mm-hmm. Draisaitl actually put the puck in the net. It was going to miss. So I hate the Skinner's the problem for everything. Their defense wasn't as strong in the first round against LA. It's gotten better. They've gotten guys back. Kulak's come back. I think Nurse is playing within himself a lot better. And the addition of Ekholm tonight, wow. If you told me you were going to get Ekholm back in a big game like this, rested, ready to go, with kind of a mean streak, take it all day long. Mm-hmm. All day long.
Prairie Land Rentals, sponsor of our text line. We love Prairie Land Rentals. $600. I have to go see them. I have to get some sort of industrial sander. I'm looking at the things that I need to sand around my house, and all I have is the little hand one, and I'll be like Daniel LaRusso. I will be there for days and weeks. And
wax on, wax off.
Yeah, no, when he has to sand the fence.
It's the fence.
Miyagi basically just use this poor kid as cheap labor. If you go back on that, he should have been charged.
Think of what you'll do to your kid if you put him through the wax on, wax off on the fence.
He should have been charged. And at our age, when you sand something and you're down on your hands and knees, it's okay for a bit, but then that next morning, you're like, oh, I did it last year before a golf tournament. Oh. And then I was like,
what happened to my back?
Yeah. So I got to go see Prairie Land Rentals, but they got, if you need a skid steer, if you need a power tool, whether you're commercial or you're just doing a spring summer job, 600 Albert Street, you get to deal with the owner, and they'll get you going. And they sell as well.
Husqvarna.
Yeah, lots of Husqvarna. So Prairie Land Rentals text line starting to heat up here. The one that stands out is Benny in Winnipeg. He wants to get some chirping going.
All right, Benny.
So he's taking a shot at all you Rider fans listening, Rider Nation out there listening. Big game at Mosaic tomorrow. Are the Roughies going to lay another egg at home? Lots of Bombers fans coming to tear it up in the Queen City. Why would you guys come for a preseason game?
There's nothing to do in Winnipeg. They might as well come
Clear
here.
Lake. I heard Clear Lake's a nice spot.
They're past. It's off the road. They have to drive separately.
Elkhorn?
Yeah, they can only go east-west. They can't really turn.
Yeah,
those Winnipeg people, they can only drive in a straight line.
And they're still worried about COVID too in Winnipeg everywhere. You go in, it's like the plexiglass is still up at places. It's like, sorry, you need a mask.
I don't wear a mask.
What? It's 2025. What do you mean I need a mask?
It's over.
This is a 7-Eleven.
Isn't everybody masked in here?
Ask, what else does he say here? Ask Dale how he's going to capitalize on the next generation talent. Will beer and popcorn prices come down? Does he need a marketing specialist? Are you saying you're in the marketing field, Benny? You and I might have to have a pint at some point. Go Blue, go. Better not see a pissy crowd at Mosaic Friday night. Let's hear it, Rider fans. Fire back at Benny.
Yeah.
Benny, are you coming into town, Benny? You didn't say that.
Yeah. Are you calling us out safely from your couch, Benny, or are you showing up?
Fellas, I don't get it, and maybe Luke can answer. Luke's actually, we'll get to Luke in a bit here, but your GM is an O-lineman, and it is just a turnstile every year, no pun intended. Taking a shot at how we're building things. We got a couple of bad injuries.
Benny, look at the injured list. Look at how our O-line played with like the 13th guy up. It was still a very good O-line. I'm not going to say completely dominant, but a very good O-line when you're talking about going deep into your practice roster. That's a credit to any general manager to have that kind of depth.
So we're going to get to Dave here right away. Luke is with the Red Cross. That's his day job.
It's his real job.
And there is some major stuff going on with these fires, especially Manitoba, Saskatchewan, that Flin-Flon Creighton area.
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
Well, I just know these fires are not as far north as lots of other fires we have in the past where the smoke comes down from way north. These fires are in what I'm going to call semi-residential areas like Candle Lake, Flin-Flon, Creighton, Narrow Hills. Like they're close to places where a lot of people live. Pelican Narrows, that's a highly populated place there with the Peter Ballantyne First Nation. So there's a lot of people affected, and it's going to throw our man in to do some work with the Red Cross.
Well, I heard Candle Lake is close. They're getting close to Emma Lake.
Yeah.
So not everybody battling up there. There's going to be a lot of evacuees in your different cities, wherever you're listening from. So it's not a great time.
And when there's forest fires that are close to populated areas, you got to remember these are likely human started, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's backfires on quads or ATVs or something like that. You got to be careful when you're out there. Carry a jug of water just for that purpose. Carry a small fire extinguisher. If you got to throw a cigarette butt out the window, maybe quit. Start chewing. I don't know. But don't start a forest fire just because of your own lack of common sense.
That makes a good point, actually. When you think about it,
get a dip
that
going.
Way. Yeah, bring some water, put the bear spray aside, grab a jug of water. So everyone's battling that. Remind me to tell you a story about Waskesiu and the bear issue right now up there too. Interesting. We'll take a break here. Here goes the text line. Prairieland Rentals. People are firing back at Benny. Rider fans are stepping up. 936-6262. We are live at Currie Field getting ready for the Red Sox and Swift Current season opener, home opener.
Beautiful evening. Beautiful
baseball. We're even going to have a Red Sox prize package to give away here. It is a SportsCage live streaming at sportscage.com. Welcome back. We're live at Currie Field, the SportsCage. Sharky's with me for it is Access Communications on Thursday. Sharon from the Red Sox just came by, Sharky, your old friend, and said we're going to be smelling the taco in a bag, probably cooking up here in a bit. I guess this isn't even a joke. I know there's a lot of tomfoolery on the show. They say the taco in a bag at Currie Field at a Red Sox game is the best in the city.
I'd have to go with, I don't know. I'm not a taco in a bag expert by any means.
If you're coming to a baseball game, though, the first thing you're going to order to eat is a
hot dog.
And to drink, you'll order
likely a beer for me.
Yeah, well, I guess some people wouldn't, especially kids. Maybe they will. But the taco in a bag here is supposed to be off the charts. I don't know. Yeah, so we're here. It's a home opener against Swift Current tonight. Give me a great night for baseball, but let's talk Riders. It's still technically training camp. So training camp reports for Red Zone Sports Bar right behind the Saskatoon Travel Lodge. To bring him in, Dave Thomas is this will be the time of the show where he joins us. David, you ever had the taco in a bag at Currie Field?
No, I have not, but that and getting the shirt that you're wearing is high on my priority list now.
They just gave it to me 2 minutes before we went on air. I changed over there.
He's modest.
Fortunately.
He's modest. He went off camera.
And hey, Brotz, I already have somebody that wants this T-shirt. Can they buy them here? You can buy them online, Dave.
There you go.
And Dave Thomas is loving.
Yeah, he's chasing down a shirt already.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to talk. We got to talk Riders, Dave. And I come out and I'm sure you heard.
Hang on. You haven't had taco in a bag here. You've eaten everything at the Red Zone. How did you miss taco in a bag here?
You know what? I blushingly say I only got to one Red Sox game all of last year, and I had just eaten at Western Pizza before I got there.
Okay, that's acceptable. Okay,
Dave knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I'm circling things here, and I'm like, no Trevor Harris. I'm like, understandable. Then I'm circling. I'm like, no Jamarcus Hardrick for the second straight game. Am I crazy thinking that I thought I'd see? I know he's a veteran. I know he's got a lot of games under his belt. Hurt last year, maybe get him in, get a little rust off. Why no Hardrick in your view?
Well, we are going to hear from Corey Mace in just a few moments, and he'll explain what led to, in part, some of the decisions that the Riders made when it came to the roster for tomorrow night's game. But Jamarcus Hardrick has shown everything that he had to in practice. He doesn't need to come out and play, I don't think. Why would you risk wearing him down in a game that you've got coming up in 6 days where it means, more in regular season game number one than it might in preseason? So I don't think you risk him, and I don't think that there's a big risk in him playing. I'm just saying keep him fresh. Why not? He's proven to me by watching him throughout camp that he's ready to go.
A half for Mayer, would that be what you're thinking? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know what you were thinking, Sharky.
That's what I was
giving
thinking.
Him a half.
Yeah.
Well, and Luke Mullender, right? He talked about you need some constants when you're evaluating things, right? So if you've got Jake Mayer, who again in a lot of ways, he could be viewed as a starting quarterback on some teams in this league. I'm not going to name which ones, but Jake is a starting caliber quarterback. And you know what? If he's slinging the ball to all the different receivers that they're going to be moving in and out, then it's going to be that constant that they can evaluate the rest with.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, you talk to Coach Mace today. I'll let you throw to this and kind of give us some insight on what he had to say.
Yeah, so Coach Mace, again, sat down, talked with us a little bit about what he's anticipating for tomorrow night, and it did start with a conversation about the roster that he's going to put on the field. Well, Coach, as you get ready for this preseason game tomorrow night, you look at the roster. There are going to be a number of veterans that won't be playing tomorrow. Did the short turnaround towards week number 1 factor into your decision on how you assembled the roster?
Yeah, that was something we had looked at, going into camp, and it did have something to play with it. I understand the sentiment. You want to have all your guys playing for home games, but for us too is we want to make sure that we're healthy going into week 1, and we are in a quick turnaround after this preseason game, getting ready for the Thursday game after that. So it did definitely have something to play, but in saying that, we're still trying to formulate the back end of the roster, and unbelievable amount of reps for guys to make those decisions tough for us. So I really do. I think it played out healthy for us.
Now, playing at Mosaic Stadium, you often talk about how special of an experience it is. How special will it be for those players, some of whom are going to be coming out of the tunnel for the first time?
Yeah, you try to explain it to them. I'm super excited, man, for these guys to get that feeling, even, walking down the tunnel. And just, waiting for the crowd and to bring them out. It's a special moment, I think, for everybody that gets to do that. So really excited for those guys that are able to play to get that accomplished tomorrow, for them to have that moment, because they've earned it, man. So really, really cool. Really happy that we finally get back to playing home football here in Saskatchewan.
Jake Mayer has been named your starter for tomorrow night. What are you hoping to see from Jake, and what have you seen from him thus far in camp?
It reminds me of when he first got his start. Back in Calgary, first coming in, and there's balls flying around, and everybody's sitting there like, oh, who is that? Certainly, I can't speak to what it's been like for him the last previous couple years, but he's happy as ever to be in the building every day. He's competing his tail off. He's making it hard for the defense. And when he's in the huddle, he commands it. So I think that's been really good for him. I think it's been good for us, and for the competition's sake as well. Jack has all those same intangibles. So, man, we're pleased with the room.
Yeah, so kind of pretty much what you were thinking, what you've been talking about throughout the week, Dave, as you're really close to this team. Are there any guys, and this is just for the kind of the casual fan that has been following but now is getting into it, really into the mixer tomorrow with the preseason game, who is not playing because they are tweaked a bit? Emelis?
No, Shane. Emelis is good to go. Emelis is fine. Kean Schaefer-Baker is nicked up a little bit because
sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, he tweaked a little bit of something, so he's going to be held out. Samuel Emelis, he is healthy and he is good to go. They're holding back Alex Gubner because he's got a bit of an ankle issue by the looks of it. Charbel DeBeer tweaked the knee again, so he'll be held out on that front. Also, we're not going to obviously see either Sean McEwen or Philippe Gagnon, or both are nicked up a little bit. Lake Corte Moore, he was battling a bit of an injury after that Winnipeg game. I don't think it's anything serious, but he's going to be held out because of that as well. Nelson Lacombo also nicked up too.
I like how you say Philippe Gagnon and Sean McEwen a little nicked up. It's good.
Yeah. They're like 6 to 8 weeks.
Hey, Benny in Manitoba, tell everyone it's just a little nick.
Little tweak.
Little nick.
Little tweak.
Like hangnail stuff. Running back position, no AJ. He doesn't need to go. We saw him last week. 2 kickers again. Hey?
Yeah, 2 kickers again. Why not? You brought Hodge in. Let's see what he can do. He was booming them last year, so give him an opportunity. That is, though, where one of my eyes went to. So my eyes spotted two things when the depth chart came out. And one, and I don't know why, but Joe Couch is getting the start at punter, and I don't know why that caught my eye. Joe Couch is going to get an opportunity. He was re-signed, so Bailey Flint is sitting. He's not even going to dress on this one, right? So at the end of it all, with Joe Couch coming in, that's going to be very interesting that he'll have a full game and a full opportunity. By the way, Barney, you never looked better on camera before, as someone that is listening on the radio just saw someone walk and stand in front of you on the camera. Anyways. Yes,
Did you see what that someone was doing, or what he put in front of me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's for a different day. But Joe Couch getting in, I think, is very significant in the fact that he'll have the full game to go ahead and show what he can do. And this is going to be his showcase opportunity, like Bailey Flint had in Winnipeg last week. And the other one is on the the defensive line, pardon me, because you look and you see the interior of the defensive line. You would think that Micah Johnson and Mike Rose are going to be starting in week number 1, and they're going to start again here tomorrow night. But then at the defensive end spot, you don't have Malik Carney, and Shane Ray is nicked up. So Eric Black comes in at one end, and on the other side, it's Haba Baldonado. And again, we saw Baldonado continue to grow throughout training camp as well as last season. So I think that's going to be very interesting to watch. And then there's a rotation with some younger guys that are going to get an opportunity to get in. So those are the two that caught my eye right away.
Dave, I really like, and I can honestly say this, that they're going to play some guys that are going to make an opportunity to either be on or off the roster. They're not going to give them that third or fourth quarter to get in. You know, with holding out like Hardrick and Ouellette and Harris, this is their time to shine. They're getting the chance to show what they can do, and I really appreciate that the coaching staff is putting that out there for those guys to have that chance.
Yeah, and what I think is interesting is on the offensive line, Sharky, Nick Jones and Peyton Collins have both had good camps. They're both young guys. Now, Jones, again, you'll remember they started him at right tackle for a game, then they moved him to right guard, and he's actually now penciled in as the number 2 center this time around. They love his sheer athleticism, so it's going to be interesting to watch those guys. And you're right. You got an opportunity to make the team. Make you make the team.
Yep. Yeah, I like it. I like the way it looks. Where is the returner? I don't see the returner on the depth chart. Bring me up to speed on the returner situation.
The guy you might be looking for is Dre McCray. He's right there wearing number 86, but I know who you're to Mario Alford.
Well, Mario Alford is also penciled into the lineup as well. He is going to line up as a receiver. And actually this week, Mario Alford took a few more reps on the offense than what I had seen thus far in camp. So again, healthy competition. We'll find out who wins the job.
Yeah. That's exactly what I would, if I could sprinkle on it. That's exactly what there was going on there. Let's call a spade a spade. Okay. So also today, Dave, later you did have a chance, and we're going to play it. Maybe just tease and give people a chance, because in hour 2 we're going to hear from the starting quarterback tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll hear from Jake Mayer, and he is absolutely, I would say, excited is an understatement for the way that he is looking right now at this football game tomorrow. And you're going to hear it in his voice. I talked to him earlier today. That's coming up a little bit later on. And like I say, it's one of those conversations you're like, wow, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And when you hear the enthusiasm, you're going to be cheering for him loud tomorrow night.
And then hour 3, we're going to hear from our place kicker for the last number of years, Brett Lother.
Yeah, and you know what? I like to pretend that I'm a golfer, and I'm not a good golfer, but you know how meticulous golf can be. Well, kicking is the same, and when Brett Lother explains the way that he approaches his kicking, it is absolutely down to the finest of details. And the one question that I asked him, so you like where you're at? You ask that to everybody. And oh, yeah, I love where I'm at. I'm getting better. I'm ready to go. He says, no, I'm not where I want to be at yet. And you're going to hear him tell you why coming up a little bit later on.
Cool. Love it.
And for you, and Luke is back tomorrow with you. Like, you don't need Sharky on standby?
Well, you can never have too much Sharky, I've been told, but I think we're covered.
Yeah, you better give me a heads up, because I got a birthday party starting around 4, so I might have to change some of my appetite. I think
I saw that graffiti under an underpass. You can't have too much Sharky somewhere in Regina. I think that's.
Well, it's funny. I saw that on the men's room stall over at the Red Zone Sports Bar up in Saskatoon. So I don't know.
The Shell station in Davidson.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Thanks so much. Hey, have fun tomorrow. Have a good one. Thanks for everything you do, and go green and white.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the Red Sox. And yes, I'll be coming for a shirt and socks, I've been told.
All right. Very nice tarp.
Love it.
Voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Dave Thomas. That is probably our last training camp report for the Red Zone.
So. Yeah.
Sports Bar in Saskatoon, right behind the Travel Lodge, the daily specials and all that. That's been the one good thing about this week is those two yahoos are up there eating every time they are talking about food when we're sitting starving from that.
And they're sitting in those comfy, relaxing lounge chairs there in their own special lounge, and they've got food being brought in regularly, like there's some sort of royal.
Although we can't complain so far since we've come to the Red Sox.
No, it's been good here at the Red Sox.
Because I had a T-shirt given, we had a pair of socks, and a beverage.
There's a refreshing beverage.
So on the heels of that, let's go to break. We're live at Currie Field. The Red Sox season opener, home opener against Swift Current. What a night for baseball. It's going to be awesome. We'll be talking about that for the next 3 hours, as well as Gary Brotzel is going to join us in a bit here, talk about the organization and how they are going in to 2025. It is a Sports Cage. Streaming live from Currie Field on sportscage.com. It's for Access Communications on Thursday. And I'm here at Currie Field with Sharky. And when Sharky's on, he's brought to you by Flooring Superstore. Trent Dickin and his team. 25% off across the boards right now. Take your tariffs and shove them you know where, is what Trent Dickin basically said. 25% off. So if you need flooring for the cabin, the house, the in-laws, anything, go the Outlaws, go see Trent Dickin and his team. We're really, not that we like to give free plugs here, but we're testing the capability of this bench from Costco right now, because if you're watching the stream, there's 3 of us sitting on one side of a picnic table here at Currie Field. Gary Brotzel,
it's under pressure,
from the Regina Red Sox, is joining us. You came by earlier when we were just going on air, and Gary, it can be anything. The hard thing to believe is we're still in May, and now we're pushing 30 degrees.
Unbelievable. Over my 20 years, we've had everything from -3 to 30, I guess. This actually might be the best day we've ever had for a home opener. This is unreal.
Gorgeous day to be at the ballpark.
It'll be really good for beverage sales, no doubt about it. But let's get that I'm wearing. You guys have actually really nice gear.
Yeah, very good.
And you can get it online.
Those are right hot off the press. Yeah, you can get them off our website, and we'll ship them out.
So that's the thing, because a lot of people, like, maybe from Regina, they don't live here anymore. They kind of want something. Or people, when you travel and you want to wear, Regina Red Sox. Yeah, so you can go online and check out all that stuff. What kind of crowd expecting tonight? Because you guys got a special little ceremony as well.
Yeah, we're honoring the Pac Canadians, as everybody knows.
Hey, fantastic.
In Regina, TELUS Cup champions. And the connection there is Coach Ryan Hodgen's son, Rhett, is on our roster.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of our catchers, freshman, first-year player. So I just started, mulling around, what can we do for opening day? And it's, hey, why not honor another great sports institution from Regina?
I see you got him listed at 5'8". He's got his mother.
Yeah,
he's only 5'8".
Apparently. I don't know his mom, but I know Ryan.
He's not 5'8".
Something skipped a generation there, or maybe the mailman was involved. I don't
think so.
No, we won't go there.
No,
we won't go there.
What are they throwing out first pitch?
Yeah, well, they're going to be just behind the mound. I was hoping.
Who's going to get the ball? That's what I'm.
Well, we were going to have them all throw, but I'm already hearing it from the umpire crew that we got to keep it quick. So we're just going to have them in behind.
Where's this umpire crew?
Let's
call them.
Where do they got to be?
It's a beautiful night. It's the home opener. Hey, easy umpire.
They got wind of it, and they're apparently underpaid already. So we want to keep them out that long.
Well, they don't have to call balls and strikes on each one of them. It's not like it's work.
Exactly.
Where they maybe they're big Oilers Star fans. They want to get in and out.
Maybe I'll get Maddox to toss one just on behalf. I think he's coming. Or Haji. Yeah.
Haji won't want to do it.
No.
I know Haji.
He'll pass on it.
He won't want to do it. I think Maddox is a good call. Jonas Evertson graduating.
Yep.
There's lots
All
of guys.
good
Yeah.
choices.
We'll figure it out.
I love when you go through. You gave us your roster here, and so if people haven't come to a game in the league or specifically the Regina Red Sox, like I had Coach Rye on the other day, and now that you see the roster, like, isn't it really cool? Like from Texas, Oklahoma, more Texas, California, Indianapolis, Colorado. Then you sprinkle in the White City Sass kids, right?
Yeah.
But like this roster, like there's guys from everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have one from Minnesota, California,
Louisiana.
Derby, Kansas.
It'd be cold for that guy right
Louisiana.
Yeah.
I haven't talked much with Matt to check out his accent, but he may have one.
I'd imagine it'd be pretty thick.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty thick.
Wasn't Bobby Boucher from down there?
Hey, you know what I really like about your roster is the number of local kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just,
Yeah.
and they're obviously going to school somewhere. They're getting a chance to come back and play at home. There's guys from Taft College, Okanagan College. Like you said, young Hauker, or young Haji, is down at Taft.
Jory Graves.
Talk a little bit about those local kids and how important it is to get them to come back and play.
Oh, they're a huge part. You can only have 23 Americans, so we're kind of a little bit like the CFL in a way, where you got that import ratio. So, I mean, we brought in 23 Americans. We actually have 10 or 11 Canadians. So we have one from Vancouver and another one from, I can't remember where, but yeah. So anyway, the Regina kids are a big part of it. Most of them are Martin High School graduates, and Robbie's doing a great job over there and grooming players for us.
State of the league. Last year, Saskatoon comes in. That was awesome. Little rivalry up the road. Things are in a good place.
Very good. Did about 475,000 fans last year.
Wow.
Is that a record?
Yes, it's a record every year. The record's broken. It wasn't too long ago where it was like 200, and over a short 3 years, it's 450. And with Edmonton or Energy City bringing on their new ballpark, they hope to play their first game July 10th. I mean, that place is going to hold 4,000.
Is that the one down by the river? Or are they
No. They built a brand new one in Spruce Grove.
Okay.
It's actually got plans for condos in left field. It's amazing. So, they're going to be moving in there, and I mean, they'll probably be like Sylvan Lake and Okotoks, drawing 120,000 a year. So, our attendance, maybe not this year, by end of next year is probably 650.
Wow.
Which is pretty good.
No kidding. Now, locally, we still got Moose Jaw, still got Swift, we still got Saskatoon. Weyburn's still in the mix?
Yeah, Weyburn's in the mix. Yeah, they're doing okay down there.
That's the Eastern Division or the Medicine Hat?
Yeah,
Okay.
they got kicked into Saskatchewan against their, got to twist their arms to move them over. I think they thought maybe they could win the division, get away from Okotoks, and come over here, and they can't win it in Saskatchewan.
Now they're really unhappy.
No, now they're really mad. Their travel increased, and they're still not winning the division.
Love it. Love it. Is it? They still play down by the river in Medicine Hat?
Yeah, right
the
on
old
the river.
Blue Jays
Same
farm
park.
system?
Yeah, city threw $4 or $5 million at it. It looks a lot different than it did back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great park.
That's really cool.
Alomar, all those guys came through there.
Yeah.
But it's really the Red Sox here over the year. What would you guys draw year over year? Because you must be up as well.
Well, we average, I don't know, say 1,000 a game, 900 to 1,000 a game. We only have 875 seats, so I always hear, the Red Sox don't need a new park because you're only getting 875. Well, technically, we've sold out every game for the last 2 years, but
We don't need a new park, but we need new seats.
not a great selling feature. Come out to a game and stand in the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time I saw 1,000 functional people at a library.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a ballpark isn't a bad way to go about it.
You're going to get us in so much trouble today.
I'm going to have all the stuff that's been said so far. That's the comment you're going to hang your hat on?
That's the one that's going to bring us down.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What about and just community support and sponsors? Like, how many of those would be season ticket holders?
230.
Nice.
We only have 400 premium seats, so It's actually better if we sell them on a game per game basis. We actually make more money than selling them to a season ticket holder.
You know what they need, and it's really hard to find. And I think when I looked into it pre-COVID, they were built outside of, or they could be built in Leduc, is when you go to concerts and it's those sea cans and they make skyboxes out of them for concert, like Vegas, the concert venues used to have them. Put those down either side. You got the rooftop, and then knowing our laws and regulations here, they would just make things difficult.
And it's funny you bring that up because we had a plan to put 2 sea cans in left field.
Yeah.
Actually put 4 together and build them and have a balcony and build some suites. And we started digging into it, and the engineering and the piles and all of that was going to just make it
atrocious.
Yeah.
You might as well have built a new stadium.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. Hey, I'm looking at your roster. Jackson Searing's coming back.
Yes.
How big is that?
Huge.
Yeah.
Like, he is literally the toughest player in our league.
What did he hit, like 415 or 420?
405.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember last Moose Jaw. Like, Jackson, since he's 8 years old, has not moved out of the way of an inside pitch. He wears every single one. Got hit 25 times in 56 games last year. First playoff game, Moose Jaw brings one up, hits him square in the face.
That's not inside.
Hits him in the nose, breaks his orbital bone. Jeez. Bloodies up his jersey to the point where we had to go get him a new jersey, and he wouldn't come out of the game. Wow. After 30 minutes and regaining consciousness, he goes down to first base, first pitch, head first slide into second.
Holy cow.
Scores on a single, place is going nuts. Goes out to take a spot in left field, gets through the inning, comes into the dugout, nearly passes out after the adrenaline wears off.
Yeah.
And anyway, next night, Moose Jaw, I go over and check out the dugout before the game. He's in full uniform. Both eyes slits, black and blue.
Jeez, that's awesome.
Broken nose. Didn't know his orbital was broken till he got home in the States and had surgery, but he was going to play up until 20 minutes before game time, and then his phone rang, and it was his dad telling him, "You're not playing."
Yeah. You're going to sit this one out.
Dad still trumps in.
And it may have cost us a series in all likelihood, losing your cleanup hitter.
Number 12, if you're coming to
He's not here yet. He's with that LSU Shreveport Pilots team. 56-0.
Wagon.
Probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they'll be playing for the NAIA World Series. So obviously they're favorites. And then we got 4 other pitchers coming from there. Probably the tail end of next week for those guys.
Right on. All right, Brotz. Thanks so much for having us here, for doing this. Always a pleasure. We're gonna come. If you're out there right now and you're like, man, I'd really like to go to a Red Sox game. Tonight might be tight, but you can come and buy a ticket. That's not it. What does it cost to get in?
Well, you can get in for $12 at the gate.
12. You look to the side. Like maybe there's a better deal.
Well,
you go through a special gate.
Sharon, my ticket person, just walked away. And I don't know everything about this team, but I'm guessing.
How much is the taco in a bag?
Flag down Gary, and he'll give you a special.
It's 12 or $13.
What do you got on you? Yeah, no, we're going to give away a Red Sox prize pack right now. 936-6262. 2 tickets to a regular season game this year of your choice, a Red Sox coffee mug, a Red Sox pin, and 2 Regina Red Sox fridge magnets. So there you go. Come to a game on the Sports Cage. Colson's going to somehow figure out the winner. 936-6262. Prairie Land Rentals text line. Prairie Land Rentals. Yeah.
Standing right under their tent. We're sitting right under their tent.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
There you go. Are these yours?
No, we bought those.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for the tarp, Prairie.
Those guys that were sticklers on the sea cans in the back, if they saw all 3 of us sitting on this, they might be like, ooh.
Yeah.
I think that's a combined 675 on this.
Here we go.
This side right here.
We are live at Currie Field. It's the Red Sox and Swift Current tonight. We're streaming at sportscage.com and as always on 620 CKRM. All right, it is game day. Currie Field, Red Sox welcoming Swift Current in town. Regina Pat Canadians being honored here before the first pitch. NHL tonight, Oilers try and wrap up the Western Conference final in 5. Florida, they're awaiting the winner. They're on to the Cup final after a win over Carolina yesterday. Patrick Waugh staying on as head coach on the island next year. Memorial Cup, Medicine Hats into the final Sunday. Moncton comeback win over Rimouski last night. They're going to play London in the semis tomorrow. Blue Jays start a series with the A's today. I should know this. I don't even know where the A's are playing out of. Sacramento?
I think so.
The Jays took 2 or 3 from Texas this week. NBA, Indiana trying to move into the NBA final with a win over New York. Canadian Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, they're into the finals. OKC is awaiting the winner of Indiana, New York. That is your sports ticker in hour 1 for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals, keeping you in hot and soft water. Call on Reliance. We'll be back in hour 2 with Arash Madani and a whole lot more. It is the Sports Cage live from Currie Field on 620 CKRM. Welcome back to the Sports Cage live from Currie Field, getting ready for the Regina Red Sox and Swift Current tonight. Home opener, season opener. What an ball. The wind is going to go down. It already is. You can tell by the
flags are already dropping.
Yeah, out in center field there. The fellas are on the field taking a little. You know what? That's the thing about baseball.
Little infield they got going on.
The warm-ups are so long. Yeah, like we're 3 hours from game time. They're doing infield. They're going to start taking some cuts. And they'll do some throwing.
But Swift Current's not here yet, so they got to follow afterwards. Maybe that's why the warm-ups are so long. They have to separate them, right? They can't be out there at the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go.
But even if you go to a major league game too, I was just always like, wow, this is really long. Tomorrow is a Roughrider game day, and something new on Roughrider game day here on the Sports Cage. We're letting you know tomorrow. If you've been having a hankering for some KFC, tomorrow's a good day because it's the Roughrider game day special. It is called the End Special on game days. $4.95 for the Big Crunch, $7.95 for a Big Crunch combo. All participating KFC locations in Saskatchewan just on game day.
So it doesn't matter where you are. Yorkton,
if
North
it's a
Battleford,
participating, yeah,
PA,
Meadow Lake, love it. Anywhere. If you're participating KFC,
get some bird.
You're getting your eat on for $4.95 with a Big Crunch or $7.95 with a Big Crunch combo. We'll be doing that all season long. Oh, they got the tunes going out.
Yeah.
Jason Aldean in the background. I keep looking at that SGU sign and the Capital sign in center field.
I see that.
And my contacts are they're pretty good, but if they were a little bit off, I would think that was every time I look at it, I'm like, why do they still have a Bonanza advertisement up? Bonanza has been closed for a long time.
How do you get Bonanza out of that?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. You need
some new goggles.
I don't know how the brain works. We're going to run down the show for you, what we have. Arash Madani is going to come up right away, our clutch performer. We're staying local. I got an interesting local, and there's Swift Currents rolling in right now, by the way. A local golfer for our clutch performer. NASCAR report. More from the Riders. We're going to hear from starting quarterback Jake Mayer tomorrow. Dave Thomas and him had a little sit down, so that is all coming up in hour 2, along with Brian Raymond and an update from Flowing Springs.
Not to panic, Trevor Harris is fine. They're just starting Jake Mayer tomorrow.
Let's go and talk to Arash Madani.
It's time to go coast to coast with Arash Madani for Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
Arash, it's like 30 degrees in Regina. Not a cloud in the sky. Perfect night for the Regina Red Sox home opener. Warm-ups. They're long, right? You've been around so much baseball. They're long.
So much. It's not warm-ups. It's infield. It's batting practice. Come on now. It's stretch.
Semantics.
Semantics.
But guys, that's every single day in the big leagues. Not every day. Like of the 162, they probably do that 130 of the 162. You know, day game after a night game, a few guys might trickle out. But for the most part, if you're playing a night game, everyone's hitting. Everyone's taking BP. Everyone's in the cage.
I remember having a debate with a guy a long time ago, and I was like, if you could be any pro sport and athlete, 10-year career, make some good scratch, and I, I'm like, well, hockey, but I just want to warm up. I've been through that in the NHL. I just want to take warm-ups. And then I'm like, you know what? Like a middle reliever in baseball, how is that for a gig? You can go out, still have a few, be partially buckled.
Yeah.
Go the next day, might play, might not.
Eat some seeds in the bullpen.
Middle reliever, Arash. Wouldn't that be a good gig?
And if you get 10 years, by seasons 7, 8, 9, you're probably in the 4 million-ish range, maybe 5 per.
That's good cake.
That's great cake.
Well, it depends where your tax.
For probably working
your tax.
Yeah, but for throwing an inning or two a game.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, like that's a good life.
We're not going to use you tonight. Good.
Yeah.
That was out till 4 a.m.
Just got back, coach.
You know what the most dangerous part of baseball is, guys? It's a day game after a day game.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, dangerous.
Too much time at night. Yeah, too much time at night.
Day game after a day game can get you into some trouble.
Oh, Swift Current's rolling in.
Yeah,
the fellas are rolling. How's the bus? How was the bus trip? Good. Yeah, right
Love
on.
it.
Good to see you, boys. Okay, let's talk some hockey, Arash. All signs are pointing to a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup final. I am going to say, and you don't have to look any further than my Keniston Super Draft. I did not see this coming. when we started this whole thing in April.
Yeah, I was the same. I did not have this.
And honestly, how could you? Like Florida, Tkachuk missed pretty much everything after the Four Nations, and you're saying to yourself, well, back-to-back Cup finals, what do they have left? And, one of their vets is coming off a drug suspension. You're not quite sure what you're going to get, but this is who they are. Look, I think that deadline acquisition of Brad Marchand was just so huge for them.
Yep.
But I really liked the line that Matthew Tkachuk had last night. He said, a few years ago when we won the conference title, the Wales Trophy, he said it felt like such an accomplishment. And he said, this year it's all business. And that's what happens when you get to, when you do 3 of them in a row. It's not an achievement anymore. It's on to the next one because the next one's the most important one.
Do you know what? I think it is, and the way I see it is, there's guys that would like to win, wish they could win, hope they win, and there's guys that know they're going to win and want to win. And I see that in Florida. They've got what did Aaron Ekblad block a shot with his shoulder last night? Yeah. Like, I mean, they're diving in front of pucks, they're making plays, they're making a commitment that you don't see anybody that plays against them making that same commitment.
And people talk, Sharky, about playoff experience. You said, they know how to win. That's know exactly what it takes in late May and June. So often you have to go through it to understand every little thing that's required, all the sacrifices that need to happen. That's what this group is about. When it's time to turn it up, when you have to deliver what it's going to be. And it's interesting. I was listening to Brad Treliving today, the Leafs GM, at his end of season media availability, and he just harped on that. He's like, when the stakes are the biggest, when it's all on the line, how calm can you be while at the same time elevating who you are, what you are, and performing when it matters most? And I don't want to say the Panthers have perfected this, but it sure seems like they have some kind of winning sauce, some secret sauce that when it's all on the line, they're just cool. They're cool customers.
That's a combination of your coaching staff, which Paul Maurice comes across that way, but also their leadership in their room. I think whether whoever, their leadership in their room is so strong that nobody acts up. Nobody does something that's going to hurt that club. They are all on the same page.
I go back to last year, Game 7. And you wondered how that was going to go, right? They have a 3-0 series lead on the Oilers, and Edmonton forces a Game 7, and Bobrovsky was bad in Games 5 and 6. And it just felt like the whole thing was teetering. And then what does Maurice do? He tells Bobrovsky, don't even come to practice the day before. Just go do whatever it is you got to do.
Beach. Yeah.
Whatever. You know yourself. You know what it takes to play. You've been to 180 practices in the last 220 days. 181 isn't going to change whether or not we win the Stanley Cup. They weren't doing infield like they are over there at the And then Bobrovsky comes in and shuts the door, Sharky.
And I've had this conversation with Barney and with others. When you picture guys that are going to hoist the Stanley Cup, that are going to lift it as a captain, and we're going to talk about, obviously, Toronto because of Treliving, do you picture Austin Matthews having the commitment to be that guy to go up there with every injury possible and still take that cup?
I do, and I'll tell you why. Because we've found out that Austin Matthews got hurt in training camp. He was never right the entire season and played through it as much as he could. He wasn't right from wire to wire. I still think Austin Matthews can be that guy. And Sharky, I understand, the question and the idea. I just find that sometimes it's just easy to pick on one guy or two guys in all of this. And that's the nature of sport. When you're making the money, you're the superstar. Those are the ones they're coming to. But to me, the failure of the Leafs is not just on one person. To me, look, the core four is the first thing you look at. But just otherwise, I thought Treliving had a hell of a line today when he said that there's something wrong with the DNA of this team. The DNA of this team needs to change. Yeah. And I wonder, okay, if Tavares is out the door, if Marner's out the door, I don't know if that's going to be quote unquote enough. I wonder, even if you bring Nyes back and you have Matthews and you have Nylander, is there more? Is there a bigger shakeup required? Because this pool, it's not that it hasn't worked this year and it hasn't worked last year. It hasn't worked at all.
No.
Come playoffs. And that's one thing that Treliving made very clear today. He's like, this is not about the regular season. For us, it's about the playoffs. They're not shy about saying it. Now they got to go do it.
I could throw around all kinds of ideas and examples and hopes and dreams, but there's going to be guys like Brock Besser come available, right?
Yep.
If they're going to pass on Marner, where are they going to replace 100 points with? Because that's not easy to do in this league, is to get somebody.
Maybe you don't need to. Maybe points. Bean, though, maybe you need two guys that play different roles to come up with those. That's the thing that I think when teams are built and regular season, and sorry to hijack things here, but you look at Utah, right? Utah's got a ton of skill. They got skill coming up. They got skill that are, still playing junior, but they're guys that are going to get points in the regular season and quite a few points. But that's not a playoff team. When you look at what the success that Florida has had now, however many, 3-4 years into this thing, and then even Edmonton building it with what they did. So the Marner thing, it's I think you take the money and get two grit guys
Okay, so I like where you're going with this, Barney, because as you're talking, I'm actually thinking about the last cup that Crosby and the Penguins won, the third one. And as much as it was about Sid, and as much as it was about Malkin, as much as it was about Fleury and Ned and Letang and the rest, if you remember that postseason, I think it was 2017, they beat Nashville in the Cup final. Their third line, the HBK line, remember that? Hagelin, Bonino, and Kessel? Mm-hmm. They got real production. Now, is the model, the quote-unquote model, is it about having your top-end guys dominate your entire salary cap structure? Is it about having, 35, 40 million bucks invested in the top four guys? Or is it about spreading the wealth and having a little bit more depth? Does that what Treliving means by the DNA of this team? I don't know.
Maybe. And I that is exactly, and then to even one step further, it is, and I'm not a big analytics guy. Really, when I win championships, it's over a weekend in Regina. But
Still a win.
But when you look at it, it's almost like you want the analytics to a point of the guys that perform down the stretch or in the playoffs. It's like, yeah, hey, look how many points he had. Okay, well, they're front loaded in October, November, December, January. And then when it started to get a little greasy or we needed that push, he wasn't there. And then what is his playoff resume? And then you kind of look at that. But yeah, you're Arash. I've never got it. It's like we are going to give, the whoever, unless you're Connor McDavid. There's a few guys in the league, but I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. And then the other thing is, I think if it was you and I that talked about it, it's like, can we please really chop 80% of the teams that everyone's talking about that can afford Mitch Marner next year? Can we get them off the table? Because there is like a select few places he is going to end up.
And let's remember, and Treliving mentioned this a couple of times. He's like, this is not a one-way street. Marner's a free agent. Marner has earned the right to decide where he wants to go, what he wants to do. And I mean, look, for the most part, all players are looking for is term and money. But sometimes it can be a little different than that. It's where do I want to spend the next 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it's going to be, from a city standpoint. Do I want to be around my family? Do I want to be somewhere warm? Do I want to be somewhere where I'm left alone, or do I want to be in the teeth of a media market? Do I want to remain in this place where I've effectively been the whipping boy? Oh, Mitchell, that's what happened. He was screaming at the playoff players' side. So, it's kind of a two-way street, but each party, they have a big say in all this, and so it's not just will the Leafs bring him back, or it's not just will Mitch sign. It's kind of both sides need to decide what they want to do, and I honestly believe Treliving that they haven't decided as an organization. And only Marner and maybe his, family, confidants, wife, some agent, maybe they know whether or not they have any interest in returning to Toronto or not.
When I listened to some of the clips from Treliving today and that I got from that, and you know him a lot better and you're in that market and you've been around. When I'm listening to that, I go, they want to move on.
I think they want to look different. I think they realize they need to look different. Yeah,
and then the DNA comment.
Yeah, and I think it's deeper than Marner. By the way, I don't think it's just Marner. I
agree with that.
I think Riley's expendable as well. Right? I think if the right opportunity came to move Morgan Riley, I think they would look at that. I don't believe Max Domi or whatever his name is, Max, get them mixed up, is really in the mix, right? They'll keep him if he's there, but if somebody came along and said, we want to make a deal, I think they'd really look at it.
I think there are three names that are secure, 3 names that are absolutely secure for next year, and really it's 4. But the 3 names are the 2 goaltenders. Stolarz and Wall aren't going anywhere. They have something there. Matthew Nyes is not going anywhere. If there's an offer sheet, they will match. They're going to lock him up. He is a big part of what they're doing here.
I want to see who gives him an offer sheet, or how many. And then look, I really believe Austin Matthews. Not that he's untouchable, but I don't think he's going anywhere either. Outside of that, a lot of bets are off. Yeah. Okay, let's quickly move. I have been. And if Alan, the sheriff, is listening to this show as he patrols his usual area, I've been watching basketball. Watching Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I've been on this guy. What a game!
Did you sprinkle?
No, I'm not that crazy. But I'm gambling on hockey and lose. I might as well gamble on basketball. I have no idea. Give me the Washington Generals. No, but Canada, it's a thing, right? A Canadian leading this team into the final. Now, the thing that I don't know, everyone kind of talks about who Indiana is going to be the heavy favorite if they defeat New York tonight. Is that the case against OKC, or what do you see there, Arash?
I don't know, man. I don't know how you bet against OKC. They can beat you in so many ways. They have so much firepower. They have size. Shea's just unstoppable. Lou Dort's first team all defense. But how about this? If it's going to be OKC Indiana, and it appears to be, OKC's punched their ticket, Pacers are a win away. You have the MVP of the NBA, a guy from Hamilton. You have a first team all defense from Montreal and Lou Dort. Over in Indiana, you have Pascal Siakam, who's basically an honorary Canadian. Yeah, he's from Cameroon, but he won a championship with the Raptors. Big part of the kind of talk about DNA, big part of that championship DNA. Had like 40 or 41 in game one of the 2019 finals. Andrew Nembhard's the starting point guard for the Pacers from Toronto. Benedict Mathurin, a big from Montreal.
Oh,
Like, it's wild. It is absolutely wild what's happening. It's not token guys here and there. It's the best of the best.
as many Canadians playing in the NBA final almost as in the NHL final.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
It's funny how it kind of swung, right?
Oh, that's cool. Okay, quickly, what do we got left here? The 3-4 minutes. You want to touch on some flag football?
I do, because our first national team has been unveiled for this summer. And so it's 12 players, 4 alternates, and there's a couple of names on there. But the one that stood out to me was pretty amazing, and that's Anthony Auclair. So Auclair played at Laval, and then he went to the NFL, and he ends up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the year the Bucs win the Super Bowl with Brady and Gronk and company. Now, Anthony Auclair is from Notre-Dame-des-Pins, Quebec. The population is like under 5,000. They have a covered bridge there. Like that's what the town is, you know? And so here he is, retired from the NFL at age 32, and he's like, I still got a little bit left. And this is important to him. He wants to play in the Olympics. He's one of the 12 plus 4 alternates that's going to work towards qualifying Canada for the Olympics this summer.
Who do they got a quarterback?
So I don't know, Sharky, if this name rings a bell to you, but Michael O'Connor. Now, Michael O'Connor won a Vanier Cup with UBC 7-ish years ago as a freshman.
Yep.
O'Connor then went to the Argos, started back up, that kind of vibe in Toronto. He's out of the pros now, and O'Connor's now the quarterback for this summer. But if you go back a little while, O'Connor, who's from Ottawa, went and finished up his high school at IMG at Bradenton and signed a letter of intent and went to Penn State University as quarterback when Bill O'Brien was the head coach. Well, O'Brien was the coach at Penn State for 1 year, and then he became the head coach of the Houston Texans. New coach comes in, James Franklin's like, I'm not having this Canadian as my quarterback. Off goes O'Connor, he ends up at UBC, blah, blah, blah. And I remember asking O'Connor way back when, I'm like, if O'Brien didn't leave for the NFL, would you have stayed at Penn State? And without skipping a beat, he's like, absolutely. So it was a really good situation for him with football, with the whole life situation in Vancouver, UBC. It got him into the CFL. You just wonder what would have happened if not for O'Brien leaving. And now he's the quarterback of our national team this summer, hoping to punch a ticket to LA 28 in qualification.
Now, when's the first games are in LA, is it not? Is the first event not in LA?
Yeah, there's a bunch going on. Yeah. There's a bunch going on this summer. I think there's a Panama coming up. The women go off to China. They have a qualifying deal there. But it's this summer, it's next summer, it's the year after. It's all part of it. So it's interesting, guys. Like, who would have thought without quote-unquote pros, I put that in air quotes, current pros playing right now, that Canada's national team could have this kind of talent? Auclair's had to lean himself down from tight end weight to play flag. But this is a good start for Paul LaPolice and company to have 2 guys who have some chops on the roster, especially a quarterback. Because we'll see what happens with Trey Ford. We'll see what happens with Nathan Rourke in 28. but I can't see them being available at all in 26 and 27 when Canada has to kind of go on that road to qualifying. So stay tuned, but like as first steps go, it's pretty good.
I like it. It'll be real interesting. All right. Okay, well, you have yourself a good weekend. If you're in the area, big football game at Mosaic tomorrow. It'll preseason action. Stop
Western
by.
Pizza.
Yeah, stop by Western Pizza. And
or taco time.
We'll circle back next week.
All right, boys. Enjoy the ball game tonight.
You too. Thanks.
Ghosts with Arash Madani. For Brian Golly, Smart Investing Solutions.
Boutros-Ghali.
Be smart with your money. Call Brian. 546-2533. Some Rider talk when we come back. We're going to hear from the starting quarterback tomorrow. It is the Sports Cage live from Currie Field as we get set for Swift Current and the Regina Red Sox. Home opener tonight. Beautiful night for ball. We're streaming on sportscage.com and as always on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM. Welcome back. Live at Currie Field. All right. I don't know if anyone else has a clutch performer. I have one. He's a local guy. Local golfer Andy Zaba. Shoots a 63 yesterday at Deer Valley in men's night new course record.
That's a great round.
If you know Andy, buy him a beer. He always welcomes one of those. What a round in the valley on a Wednesday evening. Gonna go out and hit it. Gonna go out and hit it 63 times. Solid clutch performer, Andy Zaba for me. Boys at the studio, do you guys have one today?
Solid. Kids.
You know what though? I'll just get everyone that's working the wildfires and helping people
without a doubt
get evacuated and get situated.
And the Red Cross helping them out. Nice work.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody's appreciative. That's of all the work people are doing here because and I get it. It's not great to be taken out of your house and but that's a lot of work to do. Okay, so I know this is clutch performance. Nick Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer. On the heels of that, Waskasiu.
You're going to tell a bear story.
I spend a lot of time up there and a lot of people up there. Talking to a guy up there today, I had to go check something out at the cabin. And my wife showed me on social media yesterday, 2 days ago, that aggressive bear warning. So they've closed off a number of access points from Kingsmere Lake towards like Grey Owl's cabin. Like you can't walk there right now. And I'm like, I've never seen that. That's interesting. So I talked to a gentleman today and he's like, word that he got allegedly, a couple of dogs already killed.
Wow.
And they had to chopper in and get people off from the one campground at Kingsmere. They had to evacuate these
Yogi
people.
Was angry, was he?
I guess it's not good. What's it called where you stash your food? Food stash?
Yeah, food stash.
Food stash. Yeah, so it was getting a little bit greasy. So aggressive. And there's a lot of them up there this year.
Yep.
I've never heard that in all my times. Aggressive bear. We had a bear in Regina 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. He didn't make it, by the way.
It's just the bear season.
Remember you guys said they dropped them off somewhere? He didn't make it.
Didn't they peg him out of the tree in his injuries?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Injuries are bad.
Are you sure it was a he?
It was the
bear.
Yeah.
So there's a little tidbit for you. If you're heading up north, if you're going to be walking to Gary Owl's cabin, that will be on hold. You won't be allowed to go unless you want to brave an aggressive bear.
I would take more than spray.
Yeah. You're going to need a backpack full. We're here for the Red Sox and Swift Current home opener in the Western Canadian Baseball League for the Regina Red Sox. They're out there warming up already. So far, warm-up, full country playlist.
Yeah, it has been.
No 80s rock, no hip-hop, as the kids call it.
Yeah.
No Drake.
As the kids are into it, yes.
Maestro Fresh West.
Cool.
It's been all country. The boys are out there. Not a cloud in the sky.
Beautiful day.
What a night for baseball. Tomorrow's going to be a great night for football.
I can't wait.
At Mosaic Stadium. You do pregame tomorrow or just wings before the game? Because of that 7 o'clock kickoff?
We've actually got a special event tomorrow.
Yeah?
It's a birthday.
Okay.
For one of our special sponsors.
Right on.
Yep.
Am I invited?
You want to be?
You could get the End Zone Big Crunch on game day from KFC.
Nice.
$4.95 for a Big Crunch just tomorrow. Participating locations or the combo if you want to get yourself a fry.
Across Saskatchewan.
$7.95 KFC. But if you saw on social media, sportscage.com, if you saw the positional chart that was released,
don't panic.
You notice Trevor Harris isn't even dressing. AJ Ouellette will also be in street clothes tomorrow. Jamarcus Hardrick. Jake Mayer is getting the start at quarterback. I think he goes a half.
I would say so. Why wouldn't they?
Makes sense.
Right?
Then go into Cohen or Stevens.
Cohen's probably going to get a quarter plus, right? He's going to get 3 or 4 series.
You know what Stevens can do.
Yeah. And you brought Stevens in for a specific purpose. He came in to play third down. So,
yep.
And there's, like Dave talked about yesterday or the day before, there's a package for him that's not just him running, that's got a lot of other elements to it. So I expect if Stevens gets in on third down, we're going to see some of those new wrinkles.
Our starting quarterback, Jake Mayer, Dave Thomas had a chance to catch up with him at practice today.
Jake, first off, your reaction to being named the starter for tomorrow night's football game.
Yeah, it never gets old. It's something you never take for granted, man. I've been on both sides of it. I've been I've been a backup. I've been a starter. It never gets old. You never go unappreciative of having an organization say, hey, we want you to start at quarterback in a game, no matter what the magnitude is. So, yeah, I'm super grateful.
Now, we've talked about it before during training camp that it's a different feel that you have, isn't it, as coming in as a number 2?
I can't lie to you. It definitely does feel different. It's I'm appreciative, though. I really am, just because, just kind of how the last couple of years have gone for me personally, and feeling like, I've entered an environment that has taken me in and appreciated me for who I am, and again, being around guys like Trevor Harris and reuniting again with Coach Mueller has been a really nice reset for me personally. So I'm super grateful to be here. I love it here. I can't believe how amazing and beautiful the facility is here, and just the culture of the team right now is in a really good spot.
Now, offensive coordinator Mark Mueller has told us about his goals for this game, and that's getting the offense into a rhythm. So how do you do that, Jake, with so many players that are going to be coming in and out of the lineup?
Yeah, it's not easy, especially in the preseason. So you're not going to click maybe as perfect as you want it to be. And yeah, personnel might have something to do with it, but we always try to make an emphasis to be really good on, the first couple plays of a drive, because I feel like, and that's just the CFL in general, right? Like you see a lot of drives that, go 2 and out, and then you see 8-9 play drives because the quarterback gets in a rhythm and the offense gets in a rhythm. So I would just think for us, especially going into tomorrow, we know the group that we're walking into that game with, and we have a pretty good plan for how we want to approach this next preseason game. So there's no excuses for us. We're at home. We should feel really good about our plan. And, just staying in a rhythm and feeling like, hey, if we can get a first down, then that'll lead to more and more and more. So just putting our focus on that.
It is a preseason game, and some would suggest that the outcome doesn't matter. I'm not sure that you entirely buy into that. But having said that, it is an opportunity to springboard this team into the regular season while also getting an evaluation done on players. How do you juggle all of that?
Yeah, I would say that anybody that's playing in tomorrow's preseason game, the outcome absolutely matters. It's how you earn a job in this league. I've never really believed in playing in any sort of competition or game and not feeling like the winning or losing aspect doesn't matter. Now, are you focusing on things that are more process-oriented in these types of settings? Absolutely. But I'm telling you right now, anybody that's going to suit up tomorrow is going to have the intention of winning and going to do everything they can to make sure that happens, because when you get to a second preseason game, it's a lot of younger guys, a lot of guys trying to prove themselves and earn a roster spot. So you'll see some high-intensity stuff for sure, especially from the younger guys.
Have you thought at all about what it might be like to be the home team for this game?
Truthfully told, I've played a lot of games in this building on silent cadence, and it's going to be nice to not do that. I understand the passion and the sense of urgency that this fan base brings when it comes to winning and losing and playing well. So I am curious about that, and I'm excited about that. And then, being able to play in front of so many people that are cheering for you now, that's going to be an adrenaline rush for sure. Just, to kind of hear the roars when something good happens. That's something I personally have been a part of in moments. But I know here it takes it to another level, so that'll be fun.
Yes.
It is fun to listen to guys that are excited to play here, that are excited to be in green at Mosaic. They've played against it. They know that it's a different environment than other spots in the league. And hats off to every fan of Riderville and Rider Nation, wherever you are, because that's what makes it special for those guys when they come to the ballpark. They love being here and being part of this community. So good for everybody out there to support them.
And let's not panic tomorrow if
you're
they
exactly
lose, whatever. But if the crowd isn't spectacular, it's a lot of people are seating.
Yeah,
a lot of people are out there. It's a preseason game. It's a Friday. The people driving from Lloydminster, it's tough to make on a Friday.
On a preseason game.
Perspective, chkai. Keep it. I do hope, though, we see better attendance through the gate in the regular season, because I think this team will be good. There'll be a lot of excitement around.
I think this team is going to be really good. I think winning solves a lot of those problems when it comes to your gate and other pieces. Yeah. But I see a lot of different from the Rider marketing staff of what they're sending out and the communication and the messaging. I like what they're doing. I like the promos they're running pregame.
Oh yeah, they make it affordable now. There's no the affordability things out the window because you can't get it cheaper. To go to a professional sporting event. I haven't seen a lot of the new gear though. I'm sure there's a lot of nice new gear in the Rider store too. Last year was the big obsidian green, that was hype. But okay, so Prairieland Rentals text line, Prairieland Rentals, anything you need for that spring or summer job, big or small, they can rent it to you. Probably can sell it to you if it's made by Husqvarna as well. So Mike is taking a shot at Benny. Benny from Winnipeg in hour one really opened it up. Basically just taking a shot at Rider fans, being like, you guys going to lay an egg again tomorrow? Your offensive line's already falling apart. Benny wanted to stir it up. So Mike is saying, Benny, there's nothing to do in Winnipeg because the Jets suck and they can't play in the playoffs. Cheers, Mike. Ron is saying, Benny, shut your mouth. We'll see when we are there in November. There was a lady here, too, that Ali chirped in on Benny being a bit of a pigeon. It was a Rhonda saying, Raya, right here, Riders all year this year. Winnipeg doesn't have it. Feel free to chime in. And Benny, you can fire back. 936-6262, the Prairieland Rentals text line. We'll go to break. We come back. We're talking NASCAR. Love it. For Croft Electric. We're live at the ballpark. And our Regina Red Sox, this is an awesome shirt they gave me.
Yeah. I don't know. I like mine.
Very nice. Memorable. They got nice gear here. Nice merch.
That golf shirt looked really good.
Yeah. That golf shirt is off the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Red Sox and Swift Current tonight at Currie Field. 7 p.m. first pitch. They're honoring the AAA Pat Canadians.
Telus Cup champions.
Championship. We're live streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.
You want to talk about the shirt? Is that where you want to go first?
Crofty, good job on the shirt.
Sweet Home Talladega.
Oh, Croft Electric.
A little logo on there. Love it.
Beautiful.
Hey, before we talk about NASCAR this week, Kyle Larson went for the double on Sunday, starting the Indianapolis 500, which was rain delayed, so it looked like it was going to be really tight getting to Charlotte, where he was going to participate in the Coca-Cola 600. But Larson crashed on lap 91 at Indy, ending his day. Then he took off for Charlotte, but after leading for 34 laps, he was involved in 2 cautions, relegating him to 37th place. He only got 1 point in the NASCAR point scheme for the Charlotte race, which affected him because now he's in second. He was overtaken by his teammate William Byron, who got 65. The Coca-Cola race had 4 stages instead of 3, so there was some extra opportunity for points, and William Byron led all 3 of those stages. Both Indy and NASCAR are a fan of the attempts that he's making, but a lot goes into it, and running on the same day in 2 different locations is proving to be quite a challenge. Chastain won at Charlotte. Ross Chastain led after 7 laps when he overtook William Byron and hung on for the lead. AJ Allmendinger had a great race on a non-street course. First time for the Dinger. I know you like the Dinger.
Love that handle.
Yeah, AJ Allmendinger. And next week, This weekend, we go to Nashville. We go to the Cracker Barrel 400 on a mile and a third oval. Joey Logano and Ross Chastain are the last two winners. Another medium-sized oval race for NASCAR, one of the best races you're going to see.
Allmendinger wins at Cracker Barrel.
I don't think
That's
so.
a handle.
No. Allmendinger at the barrel? The dinger at the barrel? I don't think so.
Thanks, Crofty. Get me one of those shirts.
Hey, by the way, if you see Danny tomorrow, wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Danny Croft, tomorrow.
Yeah.
27 years of reliable service in and around Regina. CroftElectric.com. You can find him there or on all the socials. Quick break. Come back with the ticker and a visit out to the golf course, SportsCage on 620 CKRM. It is game day. Currie Field, Regina taking on Swift Current. A little hardball action. First pitch at 7 o'clock. They're honoring the Regina Pat Canadians here today. Perfect night for baseball. I don't have to tell you that. If you have a window, look outside.
Yeah.
NHL Oilers try and wrap things up against the Dallas Stars tonight in 5 games. Florida's awaiting the winner of that in the Stanley Cup final. Patrick Waugh staying on as head coach of the New York Islanders. Memorial Cup, nothing today. Tomorrow, semifinal. It's going to be Moncton taking on London. The winner gets a chance to play Medicine Hat Sunday in the final. Blue Jays start a series with the A's today. NBA, Indiana trying to move into the NBA final with a win over New York. Canadian Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and his OKC squad moved into the final last night. That is your sports ticker for the good folks at Extreme Hockey and Sport in Regina. Whatever your spring sport is it baseball? Is it lacrosse? Is it hockey? Is it golf? Extreme Hockey has you covered, always supporting local in and around the community. Thank you to Extreme Hockey and Sport. All right, let's go out. Let's talk. It's that time. Brian Raymond, little Flowing Springs. Brian, tonight, it's going to be a night. If you're not coming to the ballpark, go swing the wrenches, because after 6 o'clock, you're basically giving golf away.
$22, that's all it costs to come out after 6 o'clock to play the golf course. And man, is it nice out here. Oh, wow. It's nice and warm, not too much wind, and the course is just lush right now with all, the rain we had and with a little bit of heat now. It's been amazing.
Brian, it was really cool. This usual bit, we're trying to get a hold of you, and we're calling. Can't get through. Like, how many bookings you get in the last half an hour?
You know what? People have suddenly realized they're finished work and it's a nice night. They're booking the $22 twilight rate. That's what's going on. That was what you're absolutely right. That's what was happening. They call us to do bookings and for the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. People coming in for a Rider game tomorrow. There you go. Maybe to knock the day off. Go play some golf. Treat yourself, because there's only so many days that we get in this province to do that. And then when you're cooped up in February, you'll go, I'm glad I took that day and called in sick and just went and golfed at Flowing Springs. Yeah,
that's absolutely right. Sharky's sick already, I can tell.
I know. Well, he came through Winnipeg, so he's probably got COVID. And the other thing, Brian, if you're like me last night playing and you just can't find it, head to the range, grass range out there. And of course, you got the Target greens.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that's happened is since the put the bypass in, the golf course has become far more accessible to people all around town because it's a lot easier to get out here. And you're right, we have a huge driving range with all grass tees, Target greens, and you don't have to make a booking. You don't have to be a member. Just give us a call or come on out, and we'll put you up with balls. And hey, if you don't have golf clubs, we even have rental clubs for the driving range.
Oh, there you go.
Or I can go break yours instead of mine. Does that work that way, Brian?
Apparently it works that way, Sharky.
Yeah. Grab a pint, head onto the range, and let them fly. All right, Brian, how does everyone find you?
It is licensed.
Yeah, good. Kind of my next wedding out there. Let's tell people how to get in touch with you, how to book, because it's going to be some great golf weather coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be great weather coming up. So give us a call at 306-543-5050. We'll get you on the course. You can also book online at flowingspringsgolf.com.
Thank you, Brian. Let's talk next week.
Enjoy.
Flowing Springs Golf Course. Unbelievable deals.
Yep.
If you want to golf. Gee, find me a better deal in the province. I challenge you to find me a better deal. Hour 3, Glen Suitor's coming up. We're going to hear from Brett Lawther. And also more from the Regina Red Sox, because we're here live at Currie Field as they get ready to take on the Swift Current 57s tonight. Home opener. We're live. SportsCage on 620 CKRM. All right, welcome back, SportsCage. Live SportsCage today at Currie Field. Swift Current has taken the field for their long warm-up. They're doing a little infield. Swift Current and Red Sox, 7 p.m. first pitch. Come down, perfect night for baseball. They're honoring the Regina Pat Canadians tonight here as well. They got nice gear. If you're watching the stream, I just got this little that's new. Yours is new. There's a golf shirt in there. Unbelievable.
It's an old hat, though. Old hat.
It is. It's baseball night. Tomorrow it's football night. We talked about it. The End Zone Big Crunch. All participating KFCs around Saskatchewan tomorrow on game days only. $4.95 Big Crunch or $7.95 Big Crunch combo. So there's supper taken care of.
Now I'm hungry.
I know. Me
I don't know
too.
why we do this every show.
Every single show.
We've been waiting for them to open the booth.
Prairie Land Rentals text line. We've had some really weird texts and some that I can't repeat because Benny got a lot of people fired up from Manitoba, basically chirping us Sasky people here. Some people fired back. We got, here's one on Deer Park in Yorkton Golf Course. Unreal condition. Check it out. The Real Damon. I've never played that course. I heard it's
played it once. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's a pretty cool track.
Somebody from a 204 area code asking when the next Rider game is.
CFL.ca is
it's sometimes a tough. It's a tough go with a 204 area code. You can't. The Riders play tomorrow, and then we had a couple people asking if we can give away another Regina Red Sox
package.
So why not? If you want to go to a Red Sox game this year, 2025 regular season home game of your choice. 2 tickets. We'll also throw in a Red Sox coffee mug, a pin, and some fridge magnets. The Regina Red Sox prize package. 936-6262. Just call it. Tell Colson and Curtis why they're so great. They'll pick you.
I mentioned earlier that we should have a new bet on things, but a new reward or loss for the loser.
I'm not following.
So if we have a bet, whatever it might be,
okay,
and one of us loses, that one has to sing the anthem at the Red Sox game.
I'm not good at the Canadian anthem. I can sing the American one better.
What are you talking
Too bad
about?
they don't play an American team.
There is no American teams.
It's just, can I sing something? Can I do seventh inning stretch? Seventh inning stretch. That we could do. Take me out to the ball game, or can I try a song of my choice?
Well, no.
Can I do She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy by Kenny Chesney?
You were singing Garth Brooks earlier.
I was. A real somber moment.
You're singing the dance. Oh, my God. It's like, what's wrong?
Master of Puppets. Seventh inning stretch. It's so funny. NASCAR text message.
Okay.
Don't forget to shout out Kings Park Speedway.
Yes.
They open up this week. Great fun out there. I've never been. I've been to Bridge City in Saskatoon, or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, I've been to that one. Been up there for the NASCAR or the Canadian NASCAR circuit.
Well,
but I got to get out to Kings Park. It is on the list. It has got to be done.
Whoever's texting, let us know what event. What's the big shaker to go to?
Yeah.
At Kings Park.
And when's the race when the little kids drive? Like kids.
That sounds very illegal.
Under 14 or under 15 drive.
Sounds even more illegal.
I know. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. They let like 14-year-olds drive.
They got names like Cade.
Yeah.
Jagger.
Dawson.
Zayn. I think you're off your rocker there, but
well, let's see what happens. If you're on the
okay, let us know when they are allowed. The young kids are allowed to drive vehicles. Text in. Okay. Prairie Land Rentals 936-6262. Waiting patiently online. Let's get to it. Let's talk some CFL with Glen Suitor.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Glen Suitor on the SportsCage. Brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
Yeah, good plug for Bronco Plumbing and Heating, because the weather that we got tonight and going into the stretch here, get your AC unit
going. Yeah.
If you have AC. If you don't have AC, you might want that.
Call them.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating can hook you up. Glenn, we're
looking good, gentlemen. Yeah, looking good on remote. I know there's some food and maybe a beverage or two hiding behind you, and every commercial break you're sneaking over there. Come on, don't even lie. I got it.
Water.
No food.
No food.
There's a pulled pork on a bun and coleslaw with pickle combo for $10 tonight. I see a sign right there. And no beverages, but I know how you roll. And yes, that should be next time we come here. That will be the play tomorrow. Riders and Bombers. Okay.
Hey, listen, guys, I was listening all day, and it's been a fun show to listen to. So I hope everyone else is tuning in. But I have to tell you, because you guys talked about the bear warning. So yes. in North Vancouver, where I live, we have a couple of bears that come by, and just a week ago, there's 2 doors facing the street on our house. I go to the far one and I open it up, and there's a bear sitting like Winnie the Pooh, eating the neighbor's garbage, black bear, right on the step. Like if I could have knocked him on the head, but he was facing the other way, and he's sitting on his eating garbage, and he kind of gives me this look like, what are you going to do about it? And then turns back, and I just quietly close the door and then try to bang on the other side, hoping he'll get the hint and leave. I mean, we have the tricky part here, and I'm like, I love the animal. It's just beautiful. So I don't want to call it in because they might destroy the animal. So I'm not going to do that. But we have a neighborhood bear here that we have to really be careful with garbage, or we're going to have a neighbor. Right? He could have turned around and walked through my living room. That's how close he was.
They make a lovely rug. They really do, Glenn. They make a lovely rug.
You painted a good picture of that, though. You made me feel like I was there. Like you turned around and like I thought you were like the bear was like, "Hey, Glenn. Hey, bear."
Yeah.
Got any snacks?
Well, Barney, I don't know if you can see in the screen, but his head was, if you took 3 human heads and put them together, that's how wide the top of his head was. I thought this bear is probably 2,000 pounds. It's huge. Anyway, I just walked.
I golf with a guy that's got a head like that. Chad is his name. He's in their syndicate. Yeah, at golf. Shout out Roof Mart.
How did I know right away as soon as you said Chad?
Let's get into the CFL game tomorrow. No Trevor Harris. Not even dressing. No AJ Ouellette. The one that surprised me. No Jamarcus Hardrick. When you looked at who's suiting up tomorrow, did anything jump out at you, Glenn?
Yeah, just the overall philosophy jumped out at me. That the plan is clearly, and there's a couple of ways to do this. It's really not right or wrong. It's just the strategy, and the strategy is here: don't get a nick on one of the star guys, one of the key players, one of your core leaders in a preseason game just before the regular season, especially veterans that are up there in age like Hardrick or Trevor Harris. So, if it's a strategy that to me, this is what the preseason should look like. And this is, I'm going to put my pretend coach hat on and say how I would approach it. And it doesn't really matter if it's a home or away game. And, I'm not being disrespectful to the fan. I'm just saying that we have a real goal in mind when the preseason kicks off, and that is to evaluate in game 1. So all your rookies, all game long in game 1. In game 2, ideally, again, with my pretend coach hat on, I want to play my veterans and starters. If they're healthy, 100% healthy, I want to play them about a half, just so that the pace of an actual game, they get that feeling just before they step on the field in the regular season a week later. And it's a short week for the Riders, as you guys have talked about all day. So that's probably part of the consideration here. The other strategy is, what Jamarcus Hardrick can do. You know what Trevor Harris can do. You know what AJ Ouellette can do. You know who they are. You know how they're put together. You know how they think, how they prepare. There's really no evaluation necessary on those players. So I think it's a good sign when a coach like Corey Mace is playing a lot more rookies in game 2. It's a good sign because he has some tough decisions to make. And he wants them to have more of an opportunity, those younger players to have more of an opportunity to show something or show one more thing to maybe make the roster. So I think it's a good sign that he's got a lot more evaluating to do in one more game, and he can say, you know what, all you starting guys, it's risk and reward too. Like I don't want to even bring up injuries sometimes when I talk about this, because I've mentioned before you can get injured at any time, but it is part of the process. And if you weigh a little bit of rust in game one in quarter one versus harm's way for your starting 39-year-old quarterback that is not going to have his entire starting O-line or receiving core available to him in the preseason game, then there is a little bit of risk involved, a little bit more risk involved with that decision to play him a half or whatever. So again, I think what jumped out at me with this roster was the strategy, the overall strategy. He's going to rest most of the starters, and you can't do them all because the rosters aren't big enough, but most of the starters are going to sit, probably not even dress, and they're going to continue to evaluate.
My question to you then, and I agree with this move, by the way, and I'm a big fan of this decision on the part of Corey Mace to give these young guys a chance as much as rest the starters. Who do you think we should really watch for? Like, as a fan, you're going to the game tomorrow, you're going to need a program or some sort of list somewhere to look at. Who would you say, pay attention to this young man?
Well, I thought Ford played well at safety in the first preseason game. I think he's starting in the secondary again. I think they kind of have to nail down what they're going to do at that position. And you guys, like, I can't emphasize enough how important that position is. I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding.
It's true, though. True.
Well, it is in a certain sort of leadership way of making sure everyone lines up right and everything. But as far as making plays, you get a chance at that position at free safety to maybe make 3 or 4 plays a game. And then the rest of the time, you're supporting the rest of the secondary. But, Roland Milligan hurting a thumb is not worth the risk of, we know what he can do, and so sit him down. As far as guys that I'd be watching for, I want to see when the ball is in your zone, when the ball comes to your area, how are you reacting? Who is making that big catch over the middle that we don't know? I mentioned on Tuesday some of the players that have been around that you want to see the next step. I think of Duncan Busby is one of them.
Yep.
You want to see, like, okay, we've seen flashes of these guys, some of these guys. Now you want to see a more consistent, potentially 1,000-yard receiver type of, and you're not going to see it in one playoff game, but preseason game. But you hope that those guys make the plays that they have the opportunity to make.
Like it. Okay, the other thing that you were talking about, and to kind of pay attention here, the Riders, like, preseason game tomorrow, quick turnaround. Do you think the defense, like I do, I think defense will be tested those first 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we broke down the West on Tuesday, and we can break down the East a little bit here too.
Yeah, break it down. Let's go.
Well, the Riders open with Ottawa, and we're all going to be there. The commissioner's going to be there. The panel is going to be there. It's going to be the big event. And you look at the Ottawa Red Blacks, and you see a developing Drew Brown who checked a big box. He got his team in his first year as the full starter and the guy in charge with the keys to the car. He got his team in the playoffs. They didn't win a playoff game. We won't know that till the end of the year for this season, but he has to continue to improve and take another step. He's still a question mark to me, by the way, because he's still one of the youngest, him and Davis Alexander in Montreal, still 2 of the youngest quarterbacks in the league that are sort of anointed starters. So that still is a question mark, but they added Eugene Lewis and they added William Stanback. All of a sudden now, with the receiving core that they already had, and then you add those 2 names, the defense has got a challenge to face right there. I mean, they potentially, and he can sling it now. Drew Brown can make all the throws in the CFL. So this is a quarterback that's going to come in with more confidence than last year. with better and more weapons and the big play guy in Eugene Lewis for, those jump balls. So that's a big challenge for the Rider defense. But Drew is still a question mark. How are they going to get pressure on defense? They got a new defensive coordinator in William Fields. How are they going to get, how is that defense going to look? And where is the pressure going to come from? And last year, Ottawa led the league in turnovers. If they do that again, forget it. That's the worst stat that you can struggle at in the game of football. If you're not good at the giveaway takeaway category, forget it.
It's a disaster.
Okay,
yeah.
Where do you want to go next? What's the next team? Hamilton?
Well, the next team is Hamilton. Now that's second up for the Riders in the schedule. And when I look at Bo in the first preseason game, watch that game, and he's fine. He looks healthy. He looks good. He looks strong. This was the number one passing team in the league last year, and they started 0-5. Think about that. They led the league in passing yards, average net offense, those things with Bo.
Yeah.
And they weren't, and they didn't make the playoffs. So their issue or their question, I know, Barney, you kind of said it in the term of where are their holes or their problems. I'll say it. Where are their question marks?
Yeah.
Before I've been around a long time. I know what it can. The language can make a difference. But Brent Munson, again, another new DC. Another change in that regard. That was their Achilles heel last year. They couldn't get pressure on the quarterback enough. And this is one you'll hear a lot in the regular season. But the balance in the run game, I'm not sure they had, I think, the 8th worst run game in the league last year. So if you even improve that by, 3 steps in the rankings and get up to 4th or 4 steps, you now have Bo Levi Mitchell throwing for 5,000 yards, and you have Kenny Lawler as a free agent signing in Hamilton. And if you can get a run game from Greg Bell up at about 5th in the league, that team could be something to deal with. Okay, so again, week 1, Ottawa, hands full on defense for the Riders. Week 2, Hamilton, hands full on defense. Week 3 is Toronto.
We don't know.
And Toronto is an interesting one because, to me, Chad Kelly, and I've put a couple of feelers out there to get the real story on what people think about when he might return. And at this point, whether they put him on the 6th game or not to save some money, they'll take him off early whenever he's ready. So if he's ready in week 2, the Riders don't face him till week 3. So who knows? It's going to be sort of probably hit and miss there as to whether it's Nick Arbuckle or Chad Kelly. And Nick Arbuckle showed us in the Grey Cup that he's more than capable. But it's different, I think, when a team has 1 week to get ready for a quarterback like Nick coming off the bench. They have 1 week to get ready for him. That was the Bombers' situation in the Grey Cup week. But now a team will have a whole training camp. Riders will be looking at this down the road. I mean, they're not going to look past Ottawa or Hamilton, but they're looking at it saying it might be Nick Arbuckle. We know more about him. We can game plan more specifically for him. So to me, that's a big question. And the Argos guys lost 8 or 9 starters of the 24 on offense and defense. Like 8 or 9 in free agency.
Quickly, we got to go quickly through the horns of Montreal. You got about 45 seconds. Where's the question marks in Montreal?
The questions, yeah, we've got the language. Again, I think there's only 2 teams. There's only 2 teams in the league, guys, that have the same OC and DC from last year. The Riders and the Montreal Alouettes are the only 2 teams. And the Alouettes are going to be great on defense again. With Noel Thorpe, it's a schematic thing, but it's also a personnel thing. And they've got it figured out on defense. They give offenses fits. I don't care how well you prepare for them. They're tough defense. And they will be again. The question for me in Montreal is still Davis Alexander. He's not new to their team. But he's because this is year 4, so he knows the system. He knows Moss. And clearly they didn't want to lose him. That's why they made Cody Fajardo. They said we can let Cody go because we're not going to lose this young talent. So they've put the chips in the middle with him, and I there's a lot to like there. But he's played and attempted a pass in 10 of the possible 54 games in the last 3 years. 10. And a lot of those guys were like mop up or end of game.
Garbage time.
Yeah. So you've got, it is still a question mark until it isn't. And that's Montreal's situation.
That's the question mark. The question mark with Glen Suitor.
Yeah.
All right. So, you're coming in next Thursday. We might have to do a pint after the game. The only thing is I'm worried if Glen Suitor shows up in Regina next week with a bearskin jacket.
Yes.
There'll be lots of questions to answer.
None for me. I know how it got there.
Well, gentlemen, if I don't show up, the bear won.
Awesome. All right, Glenn. Thanks so much. Looking forward to talking on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll talk to you then, guys. Have a good one. Good luck at the ballpark.
Thank you.
That's right. Glen Suitor, so much intel there we got. It's for Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They're going to treat you right. Get your air conditioner fixed or get an air conditioner right now. Call the good professional staff at Bronco, 781-2090. We'll come back. We're going to hear from Roughrider kicker Brett Lawther. It is the Sports Cage live from Currie Field, getting ready for the Red Sox and Swift Current opening night tonight, 7 p.m. We're streaming at sportscage.com. Red Sox open up their season tonight right here at Currie Field, 7 p.m. first pitch versus Swift Current. NHL Oilers trying to wrap things up with the Dallas Stars in Game 5. Waiting for them is Florida, who disposed of Carolina last night. Patrick Wasting on as head coach of the New York Islanders in the NHL. Memorial Cup, nothing till tomorrow. Then we got a semifinal. Moncton taking on Rimouski.
It's no London.
Taking on London.
Yep.
Medicine Hats in the final.
They're waiting.
Sunday.
They're waiting.
Resting.
Yep.
Blue Jays start a series with the A's today in the NBA. Indiana trying to move into the NBA final with a win over New York. That is your sports ticker in hour 3 for Steelcraft Doors, made in Canada for Canadians. We talked about it earlier. 2 kickers tomorrow night at Mosaic Stadium.
Place kickers.
Dawson Hodge, who sounds like a rodeo guy, Dawson Hodge, and Brett Lawther,
NASCAR
both
driver.
in the lineup tomorrow. We teased it with Dave Thomas in hour 1. He had a little sit down with Brett Lawther today.
I am fascinated by your position, Brett, and the fact that the way that you ramp up towards a season is very meticulous and calculated. So the question is, are you where you want to be right now?
No, I'm not where I want to be. Every day we're working to get better as a unit. We're obviously, a little bit of change where you're not coming back the same year with Adam this year, and we're using different guys, but everyone's, learning, working hard. We're getting there, but definitely 100% not perfectly where we want to be, but we're getting closer by the day.
When it comes to a holder, how much communication is there? Is it in game? Is it before the game? Obviously, you want the ball put in a certain spot.
Yeah, I think a lot of it just comes from practice, reps, and time, which you don't have a lot of. You get really used to a guy and just even what he looks like down there, his cadence, you kind of know a guy's misses and stuff too. And right now we're just trying to get used to things, just speed up. The guys are young that are in right now, and we're doing everything we can on the sidelines, getting extra reps, doing as much as we can to get on the same page because, every time we're going on the field, we're trying to score points, and it's a big play in the game.
Coach Majuri, I was kidding with him. I said, I don't think that goalpost in Winnipeg was regulation. I think it was too wide. And he stopped me dead, and he said, you know what? That was the best struck ball that you had all night. How close and how much of a difference is there between success and being unsuccessful when you're kicking a football?
Oh, it's so minuscule. I don't know how many times I feel like I hit a perfect ball, and 99% of the time you look up, it's dead middle, and it catches some wind or pushes out, and especially in the open end at this field, it's very difficult. But also trying to reverse that. It's our biggest advantage with this home field. Not everyone gets to practice in here as much as we do, and you got to take advantage of these windy days like this. And yeah, that was definitely my best struck ball of the game. I was kind of shocked when it started to push out like that. But I mean, that's going to happen in football. It's kind of on to the next one. It was nice to rebound and get back, and then hopefully a better performance on Friday.
Can you take me through the video work that you do? Because you described it to me last year, and I was fascinated.
Like off the field, like watching film? I try not to... I overthink things, so I try not to go like too crazy about it. I try to watch with guys and maybe correct things, but after we do the practice and stuff in video, I like to, let the guys be free. Whatever happens in the game happens. I feel like if you're kind of on point and nitpicking a little in practice and other stuff, you should be a lot more comfortable come the game time. And, we do a ton of different things, watching film with coach, watching film on our own. There's so many things, whether you're on right hash, left hash, or in the middle, and if we're offsetting, and if we need a little lean, if we're into the wind or with the wind in different spots, you can kind of go down a rabbit hole talking about it. I don't know if anyone's interested, but there's a lot that goes into it, but at the end of the day, people just want to know if it's good or not, so that's all we're trying to do is make every kick.
I never want to search anything on the internet with you because we'd be there for hours down that rabbit hole. Brett, appreciate this. Congratulations on the season so far, and let's keep moving forward.
Definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
That's right. That's kicker Brett Law, the heck of a hockey player. Talked about that. Sharky's already gone to try and find the pulled pork on a bun here at Currie Field. Coleslaw and a pickle, $10. It is opening night. Red Sox and Swift Current. When we come back, we're going to talk to Gary Brotzel from the Red Sox again. You're watching the Sports Cage. We're streaming live here at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.